I'll close. So Kathy and Happy, right up here so that the video can see you nice and loud. Yes.
So Happy and I want to just be sure that
Louder than that.
you all are comfortable with the logistics. Our plane leaves at
4:30, I think, or 4:20.
4, 5, yeah, something like that. So we think you need to be at the airport by 1.
What day?
This is on Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Yay! Great. It's my lucky day. So Friday the 13th, and be there by 1, please, if you can. Yes, ma'am.
Can I already ask a question?
Sure.
If anyone has plans for like getting a van to go down there from up here, you would be willing to pitch, to pitch in and all, and arrange that, and all go together so you don't have to park and all that.
So Happy and I are going to send an email out after this meeting, and we're going to include in it our names and phone numbers, Brooks's phone number, and we can add a sentence that said, does anybody want a carpool? And you could email back, and then we could connect people. Would that help? Would y'all like that? And if nobody says anything, then okay, how about that? We'll just add it to the email and see what response we get.
How many people would want to do
How
it?
about show of hands?
Sure.
Or show hands, there are people here.
Anybody else want a van from down
How
from
are you
here?
getting there? Everyone else is flying? Like, what is 3, 4? I don't know. I would guess that they
So how do you get
Circle up a round trip.
If we're all on the same flight coming home, are we all, everybody going on the flights together? Yeah, but the ones that are raising their hand to go on
Maybe we
van?
could arrange
Yeah.
C&E vans, because there's probably a few, like Vail Resorts gets a discount, and you also get, your passengers get the discount, so.
It would make life easy.
We do have a member of the church that's rather high in the management chain that could also.
And even the lowly people like me who work at Vail Resorts, I
Can
can
you
get the
check
discount.
on that and let us know?
Yeah.
And what about the Iglesia?
The smallest one?
No.
Okay. So the next thing is, you all received something that looked like this from Biblical Resources, and this is your ticket. It doesn't look like a ticket, but this is your airline ticket, and it'll have your name on it. And so be sure you bring that with you. This is your e-ticket. If you've got any questions, call me or let me know. Okay? Is everybody comfortable, you talk about insurance, with your insurance?
So,
Health
yes.
insurance.
Do you have any medical insurance for the trip? Do you know that you're covered if something happened to you? And if not, I am going to research this hopefully tomorrow so that I'll know, but in my cursory looking, it looks like it's like $300 or something to get $50,000 worth of medical insurance.
Emergency insurance.
But I don't think any of our, I don't think Medicare will cover us over there.
I called
Anybody that's been in the
Medicare.
military or is associated with somebody that's been in the military, as in father or son or whatever, call USAA. They've got superb
What a great
medical
idea.
insurance.
Have it.
That's
it's
a
half
great
of
idea.
what you
I
talked
did call Medicare and I called my Plan F, my son, and they said that covered there. That
Really?
there's no problem.
They reimburse you or do they cover you?
I called,
I talked to him, I called him. Yeah.
No, these people,
Who knew? I didn't
And
know.
it had a supplemental.
Go ahead.
okay,
So,
I
yeah.
called and talked to Medicare, and they will cover you, but they will do it by reimbursement.
Yes.
So you have to be prepared to pay for anything right then, and Medicare, then you fill in the forms, and Medicare will reimburse you
Up to their limits.
up to their limits, yes. And that does not include evacuation back to the United States. So think about that one. And it does not include helicopter evacuation from any place within to the nearest hospital.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? We just wanted to be sure everybody was all
What I
right.
talked about includes evacuation. It's half the price.
USSA.
That's
We're
yours.
going
And what's the
tomorrow.
price?
Anybody here?
But I think you need to be a member.
Auto,
Ridiculously.
Hey everybody, I got a big mouth and you're used to listening to me. So can we just, I know there are lots of conversations, but let's make sure we give our attention, okay, so that we can get to Janet.
Anything else? Are we good with the logistics? Great, we'll see you at the airport.
Can I jump in too for a minute on that?
Right.
You've received multiple emails with phone numbers of Hanania. You've received in Israel, here. Does everybody have the packet that you travel with? If you put everything on your iPad and you drop your iPad, that is a world of pain. So I'm going to have a little folder. I'm going to print out every email that we've sent. Yeah, you got to look at that. Hold that up, hold that up. And it's in the plastic sleeve and all that, okay? And what I do is just as we travel every day, if I don't need it, I take it out. Itinerary, I take it out every day. You end up with nothing. Chuck the notebook on your way back. But do have everything with you. And I'm going to ask Janet to speak about navigating Ben Gurion. We've been getting different reports about how to go through Ben Gurion, how to answer questions. They ask multiple series of questions. Why are you here? Who were you with? And I want to make sure, Janet, to cover that. Okay, Sue.
I'm just wondering, we all have a little topic to explore.
Yes.
How are we going to compare that? Can you tell us a little scenario about that?
Can I hold that question and let's get Janet up and then I'll address that.
I'm not in a hurry.
You sure?
You want to do your, anything you need to do, just do it.
Don't give a cleric or anything. Who signed up for a topic to study? Who studied their topic yet? Ooh, okay. This is the time to pack. This is the time to print out stuff. This is the time to do a little bit of study on that topic. There are a couple of different ways to do it. You can study it for your own edification and never tell a soul. You can study it. I know I think someone's going to print it out, bring copies with, or something like that. Isn't that right? So that everybody can have it without them standing up and sharing. I'm talking to Hanania about in the morning briefing or in the bus as we go to a place, asking you to stand up and share about your spot. Everyone's expert in one place. I can't wait. You listen to me all the time. I cannot wait to sit in a bus and listen to you. I really mean that. I am very excited about that. So everybody get your extrovert on for telling us about Masada. Who has Masada? Somebody said, Barb has Masada. I cannot wait driving down a very long hot road to listen to Barb talk about Masada. And who has Qumran? Who has Qumran? Somebody here? Yeah, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Qumran's a little different. Do you have Qumran, Nancy? Yeah? Okay, so we'll have two. We'll have on that, the Qumran, the community, and the Dead Sea Scrolls. So everybody do that now, and that'll be the way. In the bar for hospitality, that does not count. That is not the place. Okay?
That's extra. Did you say that you want 50 copies of what we researched?
No. Let me back up. There are some people who are electing rather than standing up. They'd rather write out a little something and distribute it.
Oh, okay.
Great. That's great. But you know, whatever you all are comfortable with, and you don't have to do anything. That's an invitation. It's all about invitation.
Can you send that list out of what we've all...
We will send out it. We've sent it out a couple of times. I'll ask Margie to send out an updated list. I think Nancy was... Nancy, you were not visible on that list. That was our mistake, right? We need to make
I think it's got my name there.
visible. Okay. So we'll correct that and we'll send out. Thank you, Rob. A revised list. Okay. Everybody, again, what a pleasure to have Janet with us. Please give her your attention, and then let's see. Huh? No. You go first.
All right.
Ladies first.
First of all, I want to thank you for having me, and you are so lucky to be going. I'm so envious. You're so lucky to be going, Father, because he has a lot to offer and so many kind words. You're so good at talking. It's so awesome.
Talk real loud.
So, okay. My allergy voice going
I know.
there. Can't wait for the winds to stop. So I'm Janet Newman, and I have actually 3 capacities. One is I'm a member of B'nai Vale, which is the Jewish congregation that we share the Vale Chapel and some of this space. And I'm also the wife of Rabbi Newman. And I have been to Israel 8 times in the last 2 years, leading tours and on my own as well. And I love it. I got bit by the Israel bug, and I just love going there. I love being there. It's something, if you haven't been there before, you'll feel it. You'll feel it. And I run tours, so that's my program is myisraeljourney@gmail.com. And so I have business cards. If you have another question, or maybe happy if you can add me to the list, the email contacts, I'm happy to, if you have more questions that someone else can't answer, I'm happy to answer. So I have business cards here if you want to email me questions or last minute concerns about this kinds of things that are happening in Israel, that you have questions, packing or traditions or customs or money or anything, or if someone wasn't here that you know of. It is myisraeljourney@gmail.com. So I have that, and if you happen to get bit by the bug as I did, and you're a woman and you're active, you want to go back, I'm running another tour in March just for active women to do really cool things, so there's another option. So I am here to tell you, to have you become aware of some things that you might miss. And I want to make your trip effective and wonderful and memorable, a trip of a lifetime. And so I have a little slideshow that I'm going to go through, and I will stop many times because I will stop many times to talk to you about it, and you can stop me and ask questions at any time. And again, if there's some questions you have at another time that come up, call me, write me. Okay. So, can everybody see this?
Yes.
I know I'm in the way. I'm not clear, but I just looked over your itinerary and it looks amazing. Put your running shoes on because it's a great itinerary and you can do a lot of things in a short amount of time. This is a fantastic trip. So, here's things to know and watch for. Take a photo of your luggage before you check it. Now there's mine on the conveyor belt, not that close, please. Take a picture. If your luggage gets lost, which probably won't occur, I mean most likely won't occur, but you know airlines and, okay. Know the weight limits before you leave the house. If you are traveling business class, it's different than if you're not. And if you're traveling business class, you can take carry-on luggage that happens to be a little bit bigger than the international standard, which is a little bit smaller. I just did a trip this summer with the Catholic community in the area, and one in Basalt and Carbondale, and there were 2 guys with the same bag, and one was not allowed and one was traveling business and the other was not. So just be aware of your limits so that you don't get surprised at check-in, or checked in the other way. So, take a picture of your bag and know your weight limits. You can change money. These are kiosks all over Israel. You can change money, and you can also, through the banks here, you can order money. I personally would order $300 worth of shekels. You don't have to at all. But I think, personally, if you are going to go to a foreign country, whether it's Israel or anywhere else, participate in the culture and change your money and try and use the Israeli money. It's called shekels. You can look it up online. When I did your handout, I sent you a handout that had a picture of the money. You can change it in a hotel, a little bit higher of an exchange rate, not much. I mean, higher of a fee that you pay, not much, not that much. You can pay at a kiosk. There are places all over to change money. Or, if you're not comfortable, you can use your credit card almost everywhere. And you can use your credit card to get change there. So, that's an option. You do not have to get money ahead of time. If you want to, you can. Taxis will take credit cards. Some will say they don't want to, and you're going to say, that's all I've got. And then they'll take it. So there you go. And taxi drivers will all speak enough English for you to get where you're going, and that'll be fine. But if you're going to go into a store and get a drink, and I see on here, on your itinerary, it says B and D, breakfast or dinner, and sometimes it says lunch, but not often, and you might stop at a restaurant, you're going to need shekels for that. If you're going to stop in and get water, and I encourage you to drink, there are bathrooms everywhere. They're not always clean, but there's bathrooms everywhere. please, please get some shekels, a small amount for water. The exchange rate changes daily. I mean, it's international exchange rate. This is a 20 shekel. It's worth, I say, divide it by 4. So a shekel is 25 cents. So this would be about $5 is 20 shekel piece. But it will change, so don't take my word for it today. There is something I want you to look at. There's a little bit of show and tell. I'll pass these around. And I have 3 of the same thing. There is a 10 shekel piece. It is silver with a copper insert. That's a 10 shekel piece. That's half of this. That's like a $10. I mean, I'm putting it in dollar sounds. Like these are dollars, and 10 shekels is like $10. And then there's agurot, which are the change. This is like cents. So dollars and cents. The 10 on the little guy that doesn't have the silver around it is worth 10 pennies, like it's worth nothing. It's worth 2 cents, right? So they're different. So when they say something's 10 shekels is different than 10 agurot. These agurot, I don't know what they're used for, seriously. I don't know. Then there's these little tiny things that have a 1 on them. That's 1 shekel. These are an ice cream cone. The ice cream's amazing there. The ice cream the cones are like 17 shekels. So you collect these little things in your pocket and get 17 of them. Go trade it in for an ice cream. 14 to 17. And so, yeah, they're there. I'm going to pass these around. And so there's a 10 shekel and a 10 agurot. You don't have to know the names. I just want you to know the difference. If you see something with a 10 on it, it isn't always automatically worth $2.50. It might be worth 2.5 cents. Okay, so let's pass that around. Pass that around. We'll pass this around. And then these 1 shekels, we'll just pass these around too. 1 shekel, 1 shekel.
And they're supposed to come back to you, right?
Yeah, I'd love to have these. They're not worth much.
This account, I just want to make sure we're all clear.
Yeah, I use these for my show and tell, but you know. So you can see this is a 10 shekel. This one with the 5 on it, that 5 is 5 shekels. Still not worth a lot. So it looks like things are expensive. Okay, is everybody understanding this so far?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to move on.
Janet, what's the denomination that you carry the most in your pocket? 20?
I think
on the paper?
On this, hundreds, because remember it's a third. Or a 4. I mean,
So if we're getting money,
I would get 20s, and if you want to if you plan to work in shekels and do some purchasing in shekels, that's great. Also take small denominations of 1s, lots of 1s. $1, yes, take some 1s. Now Israelis, the Palestinians, Israelis, that in that area, they love the dollar. So if you don't want to do the shekel route, go ahead and use dollar bills, and you can use those at the little restaurants and kiosks. You can use those. If you want to get water, they'll ask you for $2, I think. Your bus driver might do that too.
it's better to pay the shekels, right?
Well, my feeling is, it's a good experience. You're going, halfway around the world. Participate. So I think it's a good idea. But if you say that is too confusing, I don't want to do that, you take small bills and you'll be fine. But if something is if you're going to use dollars and something is $1.50, they're not going to give you quarters back. So you get shekels back. Okay? There you go.
Do they have ATM machines?
They do, and you can use your credit card, and it will have a charge on it. Now, you may want to check beforehand about your credit card. I happen to have Navy Federal and Chase, and I have checked. I checked when I first went, and they do not have international charge fees. Right. So check with your bank. You may want to open a new credit card. You may want to not use credit cards. I use credit cards because when they tell me how much something is and they do it, I can speak Hebrew, but not that fast. They just talk fast. And so I just use my credit card. I'm stupid here. And they take your credit cards, but you don't want to come back with big charges. Yes.
Debit card.
Debit card.
Do you use a debit card as well? To take money out of an ATM?
Yeah, you can. You can. I would check it out. I would have an option.
Sure.
I would have a best friend who has an option too.
Yeah.
I always travel with people. Okay, and the other thing is, well, I'm thinking of it, it's not in my slideshow, so I may not think of it. Check your phone carrier, because you can call AT&T or Sprint or whatever and get a plan that will charge you $10 a day if you use text or phone calls.
Outside of Wi-Fi. If you're in Wi-Fi, they don't charge you.
Yeah, just a sec. But if you get a call in and you answer your phone, or you get a text in and you're not on Wi-Fi, I'll talk about Wi-Fi in a minute, your phone will get charged, international charges. Not good, not good. It is very expensive. But if you call your carrier before you go and set up the plan, and it'll alert you on your phone, it'll set up the plan that you will have international. It does not cover Jordan. So there's one part as you go through the West Bank that picks up phone signals in Jordan. Don't use your phone then. Wait till you come back into Israeli area, because it will give you big charges. I went to Petra, didn't know that it wasn't covered, and made some phone calls. Not a good idea.
Janet,
Yeah.
in most countries, I pick up a chip.
If your phone can do a chip, you can do that. Okay, if you
Do they have kiosks? What's the system? Every country has a different system for buying
exactly,
chips.
you have to do it beforehand. You have to with your carrier here.
No, you just buy a chip.
A SIM card.
A SIM card.
A
yeah.
SIM card.
You can try. You know what? You have a schedule that is not going to allow you to be hunting for a SIM card.
Okay.
And especially where you're starting, you're going to get to Tel Aviv. You're going to arrive. You're going to have dinner. And in Tel Aviv is the place where you find the SIM cards, and you're not going to have a minute there because you're going exactly the next morning. You're on your way to the Negev. There's no SIM cards there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I would either do it before you go or talk to your carrier and do that. Now, if you have a phone and you can get WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a oops. WhatsApp, it looks like a little green square with a phone and a white talking bubble. And it's WHATSAPP, WhatsApp. Get WhatsApp. It is the thing that all Israelis use. 97, they're still using WhatsApp, and they share anything else on WhatsApp. And Israel is kind of the opposite of the United States, where it will take, you can go to coffee bars and kinds of things, and you're already in a Wi-Fi setting. So, and your hotel will give you, you'll all have Wi-Fi in your hotels for sure. So if you're on WhatsApp and you call somebody at home, it will go through Wi-Fi. So you don't have to worry about phone charges. But I'm just saying, if you're out somewhere and you get a phone call and you answer it, you will be paying international charges if it's not on Wi-Fi. So I'm just saying, if you want to check with your carrier, $10 a day is a lot less than what you'll be charged for a phone call, international phone call that's not covered in the plan. Just saying. So
How
check
much
that
might
out.
you expect from like a phone call of 3 or 4 minutes?
It's a lot.
It's a lot. I mean,
that-
we're talking $40, $50.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to do
That
that.
one's right away.
And it depends on, I mean, there's lots of different ways. It depends on what carrier. There's two different, there's Pelephone is the one you're going to see come up on your phone, Pelephone. But sometimes it changes and the different carriers charge different amounts of money. In Jordan, it's not good. It was like $100 a minute. It was crazy. So I don't want that.
You can actually make a call.
In WhatsApp, you
Yeah, WhatsApp.
you
Spell
go
that
on
again.
WhatsApp, and you can
WhatsApp,
contact
WhatsApp.
anybody that's in your phone list, your contact list. Yeah. As long as you're in Wi-Fi. And there's Wi-Fi everywhere.
Okay.
All your hotels will have Wi-Fi, okay? All your hotels will have Wi-Fi.
What I
Okay.
found from AT&T is that if you do the $10 a day plan, you can put your phone, on Wi-Fi or whatever, and it will only kick in the first time you use it every day. But if you have an app that refreshes in the background, you're gonna get charged that $10 every day, so you just add that up times 21 days, and that's your cost of phone. If you don't want that, you just,
You're there for 21 days?
14.
well, 14, whatever it is.
Okay.
14, sorry.
Okay.
But add up the $10
Yeah,
if that's something you're gonna do.
That's what I do. I mean, I spent $300. I had $10 a day. I was there for 30 days. And to me, that was peace of mind. And I could call anybody, anyone could call me, and I didn't worry about it.
But you just have to understand that even if you don't get any calls or make any apps that refresh,
Yeah.
It's triggering.
It's
triggers the 10
But
bucks,
if
but
you
that's okay.
don't get any
Yeah.
calls and you don't have apps that refresh, you don't pay that $10. It's just kind of a way of insurance, just saying, and it's up to you. Okay, so, from the airport and in most places you can take a taxi. All taxis speak enough English to get you where you're going. If you need to carry this wherever you are. It has your hotel's names on it. And if you start walking and you go, oh, where I am, I need a taxi. Where are we staying tonight? Oh, can you take me to the David Resort of the Dead Sea? That you won't have in the Dead Sea, you're kind of locked in there, but in, in Tiberias or for sure in Jerusalem, you're walking all over the place. You want to know that you're going to be at the Eden Bottle Hotel, and you want to get back there. So make sure you have this. The way I did it is I took a picture with my phone, and then you have it in your phone. And I used my phone to take pictures and all kinds of stuff, so it was always with me. So if I didn't want to carry a paper, I had it. I knew what we were doing that day. It was great. So now, when you get to the airport, you will get off the airplane and you will walk down a long hall. You're going to, it's very clean, and there are bathrooms, you can go to the bathroom. You walk down a long hall and you walk up a ramp, down a ramp. You see people on the other side walking, exiting the airport, and you go into this big hall and it's got customs, and it's their security to go in. There are big lights across the top in red and green. Green means go, come to my kiosk. And Israelis will go to a different place. Don't follow any Israelis, they go into a different place. So just like when you come back to the United States, Americans go to a different place. Anybody here have global entry? Great, you love it.
Does it work in Israel?
No, it works coming in the United
Oh,
States.
yeah.
It's
I'm not gonna say.
Yeah. So
So
you'll
why
be
were you
happy
asking?
coming back.
On the return?
Yeah, in return you'll be happy. So the kiosks will be a whole line of them. And you're probably getting the line with the slowest. Don't worry. If everyone's going past you, and don't worry, look around, because it's a very interesting cultural experience. Take your time, relax. Your pickup bus is not going to leave without you. You will get through, and sometimes lines are slower. Don't get impatient, but look at the culture around you. It's very interesting. People from all over the world. So take it in and use it as part of the beginning of your tour. They're going to ask you questions, and they're going to say, why are you here? You'll say, I'm on a tour. And they're going to ask you another question. Have you ever been here before? You're going to answer yes or no. They're going to say, have you been to, they're going to look in your passport, and they're going to say, why were you in Egypt? And you'll say, I was there for a tour. You don't say I was there to, learn how to make a bomb or something. There's no joking there. They look young, and they're really young, like what do they know? They know. They're looking at your eyes, they're looking at the way you answer, they're looking at your breathing, they're checking you out. And it doesn't really matter if you have the exact, they say where you stay, and you go, oh, I forgot. I think it's called the Renaissance. Don't worry, because they're used to that. What they want to make sure of is that you got business there, and you're meeting, what's the name of your tour group? You know the name of your tour group. I'm here with a church, you know the name of your church. They're going to ask you really basic questions. They're going to ask you if you've been there, though. And they're going to ask you, they might ask you something about your health. If you're looking like a little peek at, they might say, are you feeling okay? They might ask you if you have insurance, but they don't really care. They care how you answer. They care that you answer with confidence and that you have answers. Okay, so if you don't know, if you don't know any answers, you can say, I don't know, but here's my group. There's people here with my group if you really don't know. But know your passport. Make sure your passport doesn't expire for the 6 months after the date that you enter. You have to make sure you have a current passport. Everybody check that now, because you will be sent back. If your passport has less than 6 months left on it, you will be turned around and you will not be let in. I promise, having seen it. Okay, so check that out. Check your passport expiration date. It has to expire. You have to have at least 6 months or more from the day you are going to enter. Make sense? Everybody understand that? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So they're going to ask you questions. You're going to answer the questions. They're going to stamp they won't stamp your passport. They're going to give you a little piece of paper. And that little piece of paper is an internal passport. I usually carry one with me. So it's an internal passport, and it goes inside your passport book. You will need that little piece of paper every time you check into a hotel. Now, because you're a big group, you may not all need it. They may say, I need 4 passports with that little piece of paper in it. It is not a bookmark. It is an important, I thought it was a bookmark. And I didn't keep it with my passport the first time I went. It's not a bookmark. It is your internal passport. And you need that to get in, to change money, to go to your hotels. You need that internal passport. If you lose something, anything you do that uses any kind of official business, you need to use that. If you buy something expensive, you're going to need that. Because otherwise, you'll be treated as an Israeli. The Israelis pay 18% on everything, including a hotel, including things you buy. So you will have, it's called the VAT, the value added tax, same thing as in England and France and all that. But the reason why you have this little piece of paper is because they don't stamp Israel on your passport. Why? Because if you want to go to an Arab country, they don't want to see Israel on your passport. They may not let you in. So Israel makes it easy for you to use your same passport to go to an Arab country. And it won't say Israel on it. This is a service to you. Do not lose that little piece of paper. Take a paper clip or you know those not alligator, what are those clippies? Yeah. They probably have some right here. Those clips, clamps, those clamp clips. Take that and put it on your passport. And then when you get your little piece of paper, it's going to have your picture on it. They're going to take your picture as you come through. They're going to give you this thing, and you're going to clip it inside your passport. Don't lose it. It's a big deal to get it replaced. So hang on to that. Then you're going to go through. It's a turnstile, and you're going to use that little piece of paper. You're going to put it face down, I think, maybe face up, on that turnstile, and it will give you a green light and let you go through. You need that. Then you're going to see baggage. And there are several baggage areas, and you're all going to have, if you're going in the same flight or similar flights, you're all coming in at the same time, you're going to collect your baggage and meet at one spot. Your tour agent is going to have a sign, and you will go to that sign. So you get your baggage and congregate, that's your ride to the Renaissance Hotel.
And I'm going to be out waiting with my collar as well. So
Yay.
you'll be easy
With
to
me,
see
hopefully.
with Candace. Candace and I will be waiting with Ananya.
Right. Father, I have to tell you that when you go through customs, it may be difficult with your collar.
No, I won't wear my collar when I come in. I'm coming in before they are.
Okay, great.
Partially for that reason. I don't want to slow them down.
Got that, okay. I went with 2 priests on this last trip, and I just wanted to make sure.
No, I'll get the extended too.
All right, so you're going to meet all in one place. If your plane's late happens, I had on my last trip, we had people that missed 2 days of the trip because there were ants in Newark in the baggage claim, and they closed the airport down.
Oh.
Who would have guessed, right? So yeah, they missed connections and all that. If you miss the bus, you get in the taxi and you go to the Renaissance Hotel. If you will miss the Renaissance Hotel, you're going to have to get transportation to the David Resort Dead Sea. If that happens, you will take a taxi there. You try and get in a group. It's expensive. You will take a taxi there. Save your receipt because it's your airline's fault. And you all have airline insurance, I'm sure. When you booked your airline tickets, you've got insurance, flight insurance. And you will go back to your airline with that receipt and say, due to United Airlines 91 being late, I missed my transportation. You show that you had transportation provided, you missed it, and here's my receipt, and that is what it's for. That's why you have insurance. So you get a receipt from your taxi driver, and you'll get reimbursed. I'm not saying it's going to happen. My hope is that everything works out well. Okay, everybody's good? Okay, moving on. Okay, pack versatile, washable clothes, versatile washable clothes. Use the packing list. Make sure you know what kind of suitcase you can take on carry-on. And if you take the suitcase that's not carry-on, that's fine. you will use a converter in Israel. Now, there's an adapter and a converter. If you have a razor, look on there to see if it takes 220 current. If you're taking a curling iron, it doesn't. Just trust me, it doesn't. You will need a converter, not an adapter. An adapter just makes it fit in the hole. If it's not a 220 adaptable piece of equipment, raise your hand if you have a CPAP machine. Those, yeah, you'll need to check and make sure your portable CPAP is 220. If it's new, it probably is. Check it out. If you love and you absolutely need a curling iron or flat iron or whatever it is that's not 220, get online and get one before you go, or buy one there. But I'm saying, you're going to the Dead Sea, there's nothing there for you to buy like that. So there's a difference between a converter and an adapter. Make sure that you understand that an adapter will let you plug it in. A converter will step the power so that your machine does not blow up. So a lot of times electric razors these days, and
What about phones?
your iPhone will work. This, the box, you have the box that it's like a box that gives you charge. Right. You know what I'm talking about? Little box, little square box, a big box, your computer. That little box will make you 220. That will be fine for 220. Okay? Check it out. Don't take my word for it, but that's my experience. Is that those in Apple and Samsung and all those, that little box. If you just have a two-prong thing, if it just looks like,
My phone.
I don't want to plug that. If it just looks like a regular plug, that's not going to take 220. If it looks like it has a little box attached to it, that'll step it down. There you go. If you plug the lamp, if you got the lamp at home and you know that looks like that lamp plug, that's not going to fly. It will blow up. It will not be a pretty sight.
You mean a USB?
This is an adapter. A converter is a bigger box. You can go on Amazon and make sure you're very clear. Hold that up. That's great.
So is this what you?
That'll take 220.
Oh, that was.
Oh, that.
But you plug this into the adapter.
Into the
You plug
adapter.
that into the adapter.
Right.
You will need adapters. And I have some extras. If anyone's like, can't find an adapter, call me. I'll give you my adapters. And converters are about $30. Adapters, you can go to, I know they have them at Walmart, and they have a very short supply at Walmart. If you go into Vail, next to the Sunday place, the next Starbucks and the Sunday, and there's a leather shop, they have the adapters. They have these, and they're $5. If it's $5, it is not a converter. Okay? You can go on Amazon and get them overnight. Okay? So remember that. Okay? Shoes, sensible walking shoes. Father has some sensible walking shoes here. Don't go for fashion. You have no need for heels, no need for dress shoes. No needs.
Jeans.
Hang on. Yeah, that's great. That's next. Hold on. Yes, that's great. That's yeah, exactly. When you're going in November, October, September.
What's the weather in September?
It'll still be warm. It's getting cooler, but it's still hot. So I'll get to that in just a minute. But yes, I was with a woman in November who wore this. This is a real picture from my camera. I said, "Oh my gosh," she was on a tour with me. I said, "I have got to take a picture of your feet." And I said, "Do you have sore feet?" And she said, "No, I just like these." And she just stumbled all around Israel in her furry, pearl-encrusted flip-flop, what do we call them, shower shoes. And it's possible, but your feet are your most important part of your body when you're walking, climbing, and you don't want to have sore feet. Blisters are no fun. Take some moleskin, take some blister band-aids with you. Be prepared, if you got wet feet or soggy feet and you're trying to walk and it makes blisters, no fun, wear socks. Fashion is not an issue in Israel. Don't go for fashion, go for comfort. You won't believe it. I was sitting on the beach in Tel Aviv with some friends from America, and I said, these women were hanging out there and men too. I said, they have no shame. It's like, wow. You just wear what's comfortable, and you just, if it matches, great. If it doesn't match, great. It's for your own photographs, and you need to dress how you want to dress. There's no reason for dress shoes, no reason for heels. The streets are kind of cobblestone. You can see this. That's normal. And so you want to have shoes that have a good sturdy sole and that are comfortable for you, that have good support. And in September, there's a possibility, not a probability, but there's a possibility of rain. And so if your shoes, my father's, are Gore-Tex, it'll keep your feet dry, or have another pair of shoes. Because if your shoes get soaked, you only have one pair, you are going to be miserable. So it's possible to take two in your suitcase. That'd be great. You can switch off. You're there for a long time. You want to have another pair of shoes. Okay, modesty. I'm going to give a lot of questions about modesty. I'm going to talk about it and then I'll take questions. Modesty in Israel, these are capris or capris, like lower capris. If it covers your knees, you're fine. If your shoulders, if I was this, I would wear this. And you take your backpack, and Father has some great examples here. Take a day pack, put all your purchases in there. I collected rocks. I love collecting rocks. But roll up your shirt. If it's hot, take your shirt and roll it up and put it inside. And you'll pull it out when you need modesty places. And you're going to a lot of places that will need modesty. This is fine. Don't worry about the pants, that they're fancy or not. This is fine. Each one of these people, she would put on a shawl, if you want to take a shawl, if that's more of your thing, that's fine. And see how his shorts are low? They're down to his knees. That's kind of what you'd want. You don't want, men, you don't want to have, short, like tennis shorts or something like that. Women, that's not going to fly. So long pants, when you're going to modesty places, it's going to be warm, so invest in some lightweight pants. Don't take corduroys, you will never wear them. But you see hers are a little bit above her knees, but she could kind of slump them down a little bit, be okay. But this is better, and you see they have walking shoes. So does that make sense? Yeah. Modesty? Yeah.
Bright colors, no
Doesn't
problem.
matter, colors don't matter.
Nothing.
At all. If you have something offensive on a t-shirt, that matters. People are gonna, but I can't imagine you would. But color does not matter. It matters that you're covered and respectful. Men, there are going to be, I don't know how many places, I can't imagine. At the Western Wall, you will need to put on a head covering. It's a yarmulke or kippah, and they'll give it to you, and you'll see that there. But otherwise, you do not have to cover. If you're in church and it's appropriate to cover, they have little lace doily things you can put on. If you want to bring your own, or if you want to bring a shawl and put it over your head like that, it covers your shoulders, your head.
For the women.
For women.
The
Men do not need
men
it.
are undercovered.
Men do not need it. You don't need it. Okay.
They have the doily for your head?
They have some. I wouldn't wear some. It's international country. I wouldn't wear a doily that someone else has worn.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good. Yeah, you want to bring your own. If you bring a scarf and you put it over you, you're fine. It covers your shoulders, covers your head. If you end up wearing shorts, you take that scarf and tie it around you. That's your skirt. So you don't have to wear skirts. You can. Now what I do is I wear shorts when I'm touring, and then I have a rolled up skirt in my backpack, and I get to the place and I put it on over my shorts. I put on my shirt and I wear it for the place, and then I take it off because it's hot. I mean, I ended up in there in August last year. Oh my gosh, that's hot. And I was there in June, and it gets pretty hot. So September is still going to be pretty warm.
How long does the skirt need to be below the knees?
Below the knees. Below the knees, yeah.
Questions yet?
Yes, questions?
Can Mary Cotton stand up?
Okay.
Well, how does Mary?
How is this on the modesty scale?
You know, I would wear something over your shoulders. I think it's fine, and I've seen people wear that, but I've also, it's kind of the discretion of the place and who's being the guard at the place. Like for women to go to the Western Wall, there's a little lady who sits at a desk, and she goes,
Right.
makes lots of noise, and she says, come back here, you need to cover. And she'll sell you
her
a cover.
arms she
Yeah.
needs to cover? So what I'm confused about is, so I know it's going to be hot, so are there places that I can walk around like this,
Yes,
or
yes,
never?
Yes,
I mean,
yes, plenty of places. At the Dead Sea, there's nothing religious you're going to be at. Yeah, you're going to be in many places.
I mean, it's going to be hot on the bus.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of places.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the bus and stuff like that,
Yeah,
that's
I
not
have
a,
stuff to cover.
Even in the
but-
Galilee, there's plenty of places you don't need to be covered. That's why I said I wear a sleeveless shirt and
Right.
short shorts, and I put my stuff in my backpack, and I pull it on when I need it.
Okay,
It's always in my backpack.
okay.
Do it a
It
different
will-
way. Where will you
Did that answer your
What's that?
Where do you need to cover?
Churches
The churches and the western
on the
wall.
western wall.
Yeah.
Any
you
sacred
said you
site.
wear shorts?
You said
Yes.
short shorts? Like how short are the shorts you wear just walking around?
Just above my knees.
Okay.
You know, leave the short shorts at home. I am a runner, and I run in the morning, early, but I would never wear what I run in during the day. I run at 5 in the morning before people are out, so I don't offend anybody, because I don't want, I'm there as a guest, and I want to be respectful of the culture, and so I wouldn't wear that during the day.
But a Bermuda short, not a
I mean,
Bermudas are great.
like if it's a couple inches above your knee
Yeah, it's fine.
when you're wearing shorts.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
right,
fine.
okay.
You're fine, yeah.
But then
I
you-
get those skirts.
That's what I was thinking. I've got like some Title IX skirts. I was gonna
Yes,
wear.
yes.
Okay.
Skirts are fine. Tennis skirts are not.
No.
But the skirts that they
Oh my
sell
God.
at Eddie Bauer and Columbia and all that, great.
Yeah.
And if you go to Columbia now, they're having sales on the long sleeve shirts that are, they're really light. They wash incredibly well, so you can wash in the sink one night, and it's dry in the morning. And it's at Columbia and the outlets. And they're so easy to dry, and they're great, and you can wear them, you can wash them, wear them, and they're sun protected also.
They have them at Ski and Sport, it's
Ski and Sport.
25% off.
Jane, the REI, is anybody REI? I went to REI and bought shirt and pants and went very, very reasonably.
Yes, and so that, you can also buy light pants there, it's very nice, so, yes. So this is me at the western wall. You can see I'm wearing a tank top, and then I have this thin little lace jacket that I wore over it. And I couldn't find another picture, so I used
So
myself.
it's okay if it's sheer, like if you
Yes,
have a long
yes,
sleeve, but it's